Yeah, I'm Brad. Obviously, we met through the intros. I'm still reasonably new to Vixen and that, so I've been playing around with it. And as I said, having a look at the X-Lights, just sort of giving a bit of a comparison just to see what we've got. But again, I've done, first year was with dumb pixels, I think it was 27 channels. So big difference between last year. I think it was upwards of 4,000 around there, something like that. So it was a bit of a change, but I found at that stage, I was used to Vixen, and so I went with Vixen and had some success. But I've got a little slideshow today, just sort of, the basic features of how it goes in, your menu options, how you look at your preview screens, a couple of little videos just to sort of show what you do, how you change things and that. So I'll probably walk through as we go, just into the actual screens of the setup. So, made a mistake there. I thought I was doing the X-Lite presentation because everyone was talking about it. Basically, when you open Vixen, you're going to see a screen like this. Now, this is currently with my setup, with my songs and that. I didn't clear it, I just left it as was. You've got a few options there of your setup display. Then that's your first step where you'd set up all your controllers, all your elements, your groups, all that kind of stuff. So that's all done in that section. And then your setup previews is more about your actual design, your house. So with that, you get your screen, your image, whatever you want, your picture. We'll show you through that in a little bit. And then your sequencings, your new sequence, you've got, obviously you can create a new sequence of whatever you want to do, or you can open existing sequences. So it's pretty self-explanatory startup. And then once you sort of get through the actual setup display screen, you'll see a screen like this. On the left here, you've got all your elements, so you can group them into, like I've got outlines, roof lines, spiral trees, everything like that in there. I should have actually expanded them, but if they're expanded, you can see more groups. So with the outlines, I can actually say left side of the house, right side of the house, center of the house. Roof line, I've got left line, middle line, right line. Firework stem, then the firework I've got broken down into each actual stems of the firework. Probably should have put a picture of what the actual house looked like so I could show it a little bit more, but as I said, this one was thrown together late last night very quickly. I'm not a big presentator, so hey, give it a go. And then on the right hand side, you've got your controllers, where you can actually add all your different, again, being only new, a lot of these you'll see come through. There you go. All these different types, a lot of that means absolutely nothing to me. I know the E131 because obviously that's what I've been using. I haven't even touched DMX yet, so I don't. Yeah. Maybe this year I might sort of branch into that and do a couple of things. But you actually select your controller, you select how many outputs are on the controller, and it'll pop up in the list. I'll show you all your outputs. I did 510 just to show it was one. And then you actually can go through, you can configure your universes. And then down the bottom you can select multicast, unicast, whatever you need. Now mine are normally unicast. Just how I've been using it. And then, I'll try and sort of skip forward a little bit. Basically we go to the, once you go through there, you patch it all across. Sorry, I skipped a bit too far. You patch it across, you patch your elements to each device. And then once you've got them all set up and patched, you go to the actual display previews. So this is the screen you'll see when you go in there. I've got the house set up, your new house set up. I'm building a house at the moment. I thought it was going to be done this year, but it wasn't. But anyway. And then you add the new preview. You give it your name. And then once you're inside, this is what the screen will actually look like. Again, when you're first starting, there'll be whatever elements you've created down the list here. And that's where you select what you want to use and you patch. So, where are we? And then what we do is we get the actual drag an image in. So we go through and we select an actual image we want to use. I thought the White House was fitting, but it's probably a little bit big to use, so we'll use something a bit more realistic. As you can see, there's a lot of floor space there to cover. I mean, it's like your 2-story houses you guys have got. So we'll use something a bit more realistic. You know how to do it, mate. That's why I asked where you lived last night. So something a bit more realistic. Then all you do is you simply just draw your lines across. So I was just doing his roof line. You'll probably end up doing that after this idea, won't you?
It's already done.
And then, so that's basically your straight lines. Now, you'll see, I go through and actually draw a few things in a sec. You'll see me actually open them up. And that's where you sort of patch where your elements are going to be and what channels they are. So I've just drawn some upside down candy canes and eventually got the right idea. It's a bit of playing. It doesn't take too long when you sort of get into it. There's a lot of options you can do. Like there's some quite handy tools in the sense of alignment. Like you can align things. You can, copy and paste. It's pretty much an easy program to use once you're in there. It doesn't take long to set things up. Again, copy and paste, you just go copy all along, and you can set them all up along the driveway. And then you go through later and you patch the actual elements. So it's a simple process. For what I found, when I first was looking at like software, I did try X-Lights originally, but I found I did get into Vixen a bit quicker. That's why I stuck with Vixen. I had a little bit of fun with it to begin with, and then I went through a few problems in the beginning with crashes, and I found out after the help of a lot of the guys on the forums, as normal, that it was because when I set my elements up, I had actually done each individual channel, not as a group, but as an individual like item. So when you're trying to program that up, it actually locks up when you start adding a lot of items in as a single list. Hey, you learn new things, but it was one to take to the books. Again, you've got on this side of it, you can adjust the brightness, darkness, whatever you need, show the house as it would be in a night situation. And then here we go through and you've got your actual alignment of your strings. You can do vertical, horizontal. You can change your string count, which would be the amount of pixels. So you want 12, you can see the actual pixel grid changing, the matrix changing when I'm mucking around. As I said, I've playing around with it. I don't do it too often. Your light size, just to make it actually, the light little dots a bit smaller. And then you go through and you patch your elements. So you'll see I didn't set many elements up because the system crashed. When I actually set the elements up originally, the system did actually lock up on me, so it lost my setup, and that's why I got a bit frustrated. But you can see these ones here, you've got your actual patching, and you'll see that it's each one is specifically patched to the elements. So that one there would go across to 1, 2 would go to 2, so on and so on, or you can reverse it, so you do 10 to 1 and 1 to 10, so if you need it reversed. There's a few things you can do. Again, I'm just trying to give you a bit of an intro, sorry. And then from there, once you've got your display set up, your preview, then we look at the options of sequencing. So you open up your new sequence, and it's pretty much blank. So screen here is your timeline, and then along here you've got all your elements. They're all, of course, you can expand them again. I think you'll see that in the video in a second. Then you've got all your different options here. A few options at the top, such as like your music, your timelines, your zoom in, zoom out, your speed, your volume speed, your audio speed, so you can slow it down. I find slowing the audio down, I don't use Audacity. I just go in through here and use it all in here. Old school, I don't know. I haven't gotten into the Audacity side of things, but I use timelines in my head, see the marks, and okay, that's where I want it, that's where I want it, that's where I want it. And so I find slowing it down helps pick those beats. So that's how I've done it, and I find that this one here, I've had some good success with it. As I said, last year I did it all with this one. Again, I probably should have thought about putting a display on there. I've got a video I can show you of the house. But it's more so now I'm just showing what I've got the groupings. You can see further in. So each one, I've got one leaping arch. So if I wanted to do one as one element like design, I can do it whatever I want. Now, what you're not seeing here is, because I've got multiple screens at home, is while I'm doing this, there is an actual display screen, like a nice big screen that shows you your actual display. So that is there, yes. And then you do have the option on the right-hand side to turn the element on live. So you can watch the element live while you're actually using it, which is a great feature if I don't use it too much, but it is a great feature when you're doing certain things. I usually just sit there and watch it on the actual whole screen so I know what it looks like. It's a simple play process. You change your, I've dragged all these different types, so sparkle, chase, and as you can see, you've got your chase elements there. So that's over the entire actual strip, so that would go chase it down. And then I can change the direction to chase it up, whatever I want to do. change the overlap so it stays on longer. So it overlaps the actual each part. And then you can change the intensity, which would change it from being, as you can see there, you can see now it's sharp on one side and soft on the other. I like to have a soft trail as I turn them off. Sharp to begin with, soft off, personal preference. Or then you can do soft and soft. So you can customize whatever you want. The screen's a little bit smaller than I thought it would be. But you can actually see on the edges it's soft. So it comes on soft, goes off soft. Again, I'm probably getting a bit too far just past the intro. But basically you've got all these different things like Nutcracker. There's all these different options in there. I'll open it up in a sec. So you can select different things, like you can make trees, 180s, you can make arches, you can make horizontal lines, vertical lines. And then you go through here, and it's not showing the arch for some reason. Oh, it is. I can't see it from here. So the arch itself, I've just set it up just to show you, is that you can change multiple different things, add different colours, or the list there. It's just very handy with whatever you want to do. It's pretty simple. You just add it, you play around with it. Sometimes you don't see an image. You'll see in a minute you don't actually see something. So you change it to vertical. So the fire didn't work on the horizontal, so I change it to vertical. So then I get the fire effect. So it is a bit of a play around. But if you get in there and you have a bit of a play, it's not too bad, I find anyway. So, yeah, that's about it as an intro anyway.